Welcome everybody to round 4 of the F1 22 My Team JDM Racing Season 1. And we're in San Marino, in Imola, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I think that's right. And this weekend is the first weekend that we're going to see the sprint race, because it wasn't in F1 2021, it's new for F1 22. So we've got the time session, we've got the sprint, then we've got the race. So I've tried to condense this down as we're here in Q1, just to show enough of a flavour of what goes on throughout the weekend without it kind of going on forever. So hopefully this format works, and if not, let me know in the comments. But we'll see how we get on for the rest of the weekend.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Sainz, George Russell and Perez, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen and Tsunoda, Bottas, Vettel, Alex Albon and Oscar Piastri, Latifi, Joe, Stroll and Gardner. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. Here we go then, the formation lap is underway.
We got caught out in Q1 by the weather conditions changing, and we had to try and go out after setting the fastest time right at the end of the session, and we couldn't get around in time.
On the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
We were slowest by quite a margin and have to start from the back for the sprint. Go then. Put down, get the ERS on. Everyone seems to pull away. Just be patient here. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the Emilia-Romagna racecourse. Oh, we go down the outside. Just about deal with Lance Stroll's Aston Martin. We've come together with Latifi. Come home 19th. We made 3 places, but not really much more to do than that.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz take the top 3 positions with the points for those positions. And yeah, that's kind of closed things up at the top a little bit. And Perez down in 6th, so it's going to be tricky for him going into Sunday. Let's see how it pans out.
Welcome once again to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The clue's in the name. This is very much Ferrari home turf, and the locals will be out in force today to support their team in what we hope will be a magnificent spectacle of motorsport. On then to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. One lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 to the left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Sergio Perez and Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Gasly and Esteban Ocon. Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen and Tsunoda, Albon, Vettel, Gardner and Guan Yu Zhou. Latifi, Bottas, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Wow, look at that. A Ferrari front row in Italy. Suppose you've got to be pleased with that. Sainz starting on mediums as well.
Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
So Oscar taking a penalty, not sure what that was for. With the engine elements, the gearbox. We have to check.
Got it horribly wrong.
When we get back to HQ, see what the deal was with that. We gained a place from, I think, Piastri and maybe Bottas. Either one of those two, unless Bottas finished behind us in the sprint, but we've gained a place on the grid anyway. There we go then. Boosters on. TP inside of us. We almost lose the car there. Piastri battling with Stroll. Just slam the brakes on there. So Max Verstappen starting in 10th place. And it's going to be coming down to turn 1 with the Alpine on the outside. And then takes a little tap there, just under braking. And that knocks the left front wing end fence off. Which means that he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Outside of the TP. Acceleration. We get bumped by Latifi. And drop to the back. So Max Verstappen running in 12th position is going to have to peel off into the pit and get that front wing change. You can see the front left end plate there is definitely missing. So the front wing gets changed. Off he goes again. So not the ideal start for Max Verstappen. And he's going to have to work his way back through the field. Rejoins right at the back. So we've taken a bit out of the rear tyres by lighting them up, trying to get the 180 back on track done. At least we don't have any damage. Verstappen is in the pit. What happened to Max Verstappen? 21 seconds back, so he's done an early pit stop. He's going to have to try and make those mediums last right until the end of the race.
Offline, there's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out, we can work on a fix remotely.
Now we've got an issue with the rear wing. So it's just going from bad to worse for us at the moment. Verstappen is going to come through. It looks like we did gain a bit of an advantage there through the pit stops. We're a bit closer.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Could just be the concertina effect of all being in the pit lane at the same time. Oh, and somebody's gone off. Stroll's.
Okay, clear.
Wow, I thought he'd made a mistake, but I guess he's just had some sort of mechanical issue. Lance Stroll rejoining the track in 20th place. And he's going slow there. And I believe, yep, that's definitely a mechanical failure. Lance Stroll out of the San Marino Grand Prix. So Carlos Sainz on lap 10, race leader, is going to be pitting now from the lead. Can he beat his teammate back out into the lead, or is the gap not enough? So Carlos Sainz pitting for Ferrari. On go the hard tyres. Interesting strategy call from Ferrari there. He's going to be rejoining. Where is Leclerc? Can we see him? That could be him. Yep, there he is. So Leclerc back into the lead, and Lewis Hamilton has also got past Carlos Sainz into second. So Carlos Sainz dropping to third. Nightmare pit stop from Ferrari there. And Lewis Hamilton is up into second place after the pit stops. Charles Leclerc leads for Ferrari. All still to play for with 5 laps left, but Ferrari's 1-2 has just taken a hit.
Oscar is into the pit lane. Oscar in the pits.
Scrambling all over on the back of Bottas now. a teammate. Bottas gets pushed back into Piastri. And here goes Max Verstappen on lap 11, trying to overtake Daniel Ricciardo for 8th place. Round the outside. Oh, and into the gravel. He's overcooked the pass. And nearly collides with that Haas there. I think that was Kevin Magnussen. And is now under pressure from Pierre Gasly. He can't get the move done. But Verstappen there, still struggling. It looks like couldn't get the move on the McLaren done, and now has to work forward again to try and get that Haas. So Nicholas Latifi running in 18th position. Has he got a front left puncture? I think he has. So Latifi with the front left puncture is going to have to trawl his way all the way back round to the pit lane and then go and fix that puncture, which is what's causing him those massive issues and all the lack of speed. Well, more lack of speed. There's Nicholas Latifi after all, but in he comes then for his second pit stop, already switched from soft to mediums. And I actually thought at the end of the Grand Prix that he basically done a DNF, but it wasn't the case. He just had a puncture and had to pit for fresh tyres. So he rejoins right at the back and he starts the recovery process from there. Someone's going slow. That could be Latifi putting him in the wall.
There's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. The track is clear, green flag.
So Latifi potentially with a terminal issue. So here's Max Verstappen in 10th place, chasing down Kevin Magnussen for 9th. Gets also close to the wall, going down the outside into turn 1. Just sneaks ahead, but wheel to wheel. Kevin Magnussen holding his ground. Max Verstappen had to back out mid-corner, and Kevin Magnussen lives to survive another day. Keeps 9th place. Great wheel-to-wheel action. We join Max Verstappen again on the last lap, trying to get down the inside of Kevin Magnussen. And that looks like that move is done, down into turn 1. Oh, but wait, Magnussen's got past. Max Verstappen couldn't slow down. And well, Max Verstappen has given that place back to Kevin Magnussen. And that has just compounded a terrible weekend for Red Bull. Wins for Ferrari then. Hamilton with the fastest lap. Perez with the fastest lap. Here comes Charles Leclerc then, in the lead of the race. Has dominated today. Let's look the class of the field, and Charles Leclerc will take his first win of the season for Ferrari at the San Marino Grand Prix. And just following back there, 2nd, 3rd and 4th and 5th, all close together. Fantastic race. action going on at the front.
Incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are so far no plans for a safety car. And gap to the car in front is 8.0 seconds.
We come home a lackluster 18th off the pace. One for the learning bank, that one.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Learning why the car is bad.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Charles Leclerc taking his first win of the season. Ferrari with back-to-back wins now, taking the fight to Red Bull in the Constructors. Okay, let's unpack the result then. Charles Leclerc wins the race from Lewis Hamilton by 3 seconds. Carlos Sainz 0.6 back from that. So Hamilton mixing it up with the Ferraris, and Mercedes looking like they were on good pace with the Ferraris. So not quite the domination that I thought from the back. Couldn't really see what was going on, but it seemed like Ferrari were going to dominate, but Mercedes were right in the mix there with them. Red Bull not looking so good. Even though Perez managed to get the fastest lap at the end there, they were not able to match Ferrari and Mercedes today. So yeah, I don't know, and obviously Verstappen taken out of the run-in. He did manage to come back and get a point. So whatever his issue was, he did manage to come back and at least get a point, so that's a good drive from him. Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo in the sort of lower points positions. That's a good result though, solid from McLaren. Alonso 7th in the Alpine. Kevin Magnussen getting a couple of points for Haas. AlphaTauri, not a great day for them, both cars outside the points. Ocon just outside the top 10, would have been disappointed with that. Albon outperforming the Williams, done a good job there. Schumacher, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, all kind of fill in the positions you would expect them to. Sebastian Vettel in that Aston Martin that is uncompetitive as well, you would expect the same thing. Bottas was mired at the back with us in a JDM sandwich. And Oscar Piastri couldn't really make much of a inroads up the field either. Latifi and Stroll both with mechanical issues. Not great weekends for them. So the standings equal on points now. So Carlos Sainz equal on points with Sergio Perez, but interesting. Perez has got 2 wins. I would have thought there must be something going on there as to why Perez is second. Normally it's count back on wins is the what takes the cake, but I don't have to double check that. But either way, Charles Leclerc closing up as well. Max Verstappen has been a little bit lackluster, and this race was not great for him either. We're down in 9th, haven't managed to score since the first 2 rounds. Ferrari consolidating at the top. Their cushion over Red Bull, 28 points now. and Mercedes 66 points off the lead. McLaren 4th, Alpine 5th, AlphaTauri just in front of us. So, all in all, a decent weekend for Ferrari. Not a decent weekend for us, but we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll get those upgrades on the car, see what we can do going into the next race in Miami. So, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already for more JDM racing action, and then join us very soon for the Miami Grand Prix. Should be a good one. Catch you then.